Anyway, so I started doing my drawing, and then I was like, I have a new sketchbook. I might as well take up drawing again for fun. I haven't done it in a while. So I started doing more drawings. I did those Momo drawings, as you guys saw in that vlog, and I've just been drawing some other things ever since. Haven't really, since I've been stressed with exams and everything, but I'll get back into it. And I needed a distraction, because it was that night, all of a sudden, I just felt completely hopeless. Like, devastated. I was crying. I didn't know why. And that's when I kind of realized I most likely have some kind of seasonal depression. When I think about it, I always get a certain way around a certain time of the year, and I'm fairly certain it has to do with winter. I get depressed, I start ignoring everyone, I get upset, I get anxious. That's when the tics get bad. Like, when I think about like when certain things happen, I'm like, it's always around that time, and that's probably why. It first started in like, I was like 7th grade when my mom suggested, maybe you have that, and I was like, no. But that day I was like, yeah, I definitely do. It's miserable out, it's cold, it's gross, and it makes me depressed. So that night I was like, ugh. So I went to bed upset, and the next morning, like, I could not get ready. I was like, no. But I had to, so I eventually got up, got ready, and just, tried to push through everything. So this is where I started spending a lot of time in the English building. I don't know if I just felt safe because my favorite class was in there, but like I just started walking around there quite a bit. One guy was like, oh, your drawings are cute. I was like, thanks. But yeah, I just kind of like walked around a lot, kind of confessed to my mom about my religious issues and my best friend. Like it was a lot, but yeah, I was anxious, but just trying to get through, and once again, English was the only thing keeping me sane. Meanwhile, the other classes were making me insane, because 6 weeks worth of content in 3 weeks is kind of terrifying. But we started having more in-person psychology classes again, so that was a plus. Also, I'm pretty sure it was also during that week, I started gaining some protection. Basically, like I said, I needed to start using my meal card more. So I go into the dining hall, which I haven't been in months, since I used to hang out with that guy in there. But I go in there, I get my food, I sit down alone, and then there's this guy. He's actually very nice. And he's actually one of the most popular guys, so having like a popular guy be your friend kind of is straight. He messaged me like during the first week. He's like, hey, look, I've seen you around and I love your vibes. Like, we hung out once. He's like really popular. He has a girlfriend who doesn't go here, but he's really well known by everyone, but he's so nice. Like, I told him about LPS and stuff, and he's like, that's cool. In fact, like, a few days before this, he sent me this video on LPS video on Instagram, and he's like, did you get a hold of my For You page? Like, it's so funny. But yeah, even though I said I don't really have a lot of friends, like, once in a while I talk to people online, and this guy, like, I told him about the whole assault thing during the break, because, like, he asked me, I don't remember how it came up, but I was like, yeah, I'll tell you. And he felt bad, and he's like, God, I always figured that guy was weird. Me and my boys were always wondering, why is he always just sitting around? We thought he, like, lived in a shithole or something. We didn't know he was stalking you. But yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, he's really, really nice, and I, like, told him stuff, so he, like, sees me in the dining hall, and he's like, hey, like, do you want to sit with us? Basically, him and his friend, like, invited me over to his table, and, like, we talked and ate, and, like, he basically did it to protect me from that other guy. And at one point, they got up to get something, and he comes back, and he's like, he's here. Like, do you want us to, like, take your dishes and you can run? And I was like, no, that's okay. So they left eventually. I stayed there for a bit, walked out. Guy wasn't there, so I escaped. But yeah, then I texted him, and I'm like, hey, I survived. Thank you so much. Like, it really was amazing to just have protection. Like, even though I don't really hang out, like, we're friends, and I really appreciate that. And I did say, like, sorry, I'm so awkward. And he's like, no, like, it's a protection thing. Like, And just this week, Sunday, when I was going back, I walk in, and he's, like, walking by when I'm walking in the school, and he's like, Allison, hey! Like, he's a really nice guy. Although he might be graduating soon. I know he's graduating 2026, but I'm not sure if he's doing it in the winter or the spring. I'm assuming the winter, because when I talked to him, like, a few weeks ago, I was at this Christmas social thing. I was not social. I sat there and did nothing. At one point, I helped decorate the tree, and this girl complimented my hair bow, but, like, for most of it, especially at the beginning, I was just sitting down, and he came up to me, and we talked about things, and he's like, yeah, I'm glad you survived that one day at the dining hall. Like, if you need anything, come to me. I mean, I know I won't be here much longer, so I'm assuming that means he's graduating in the winter, which is sad, but yeah, he's older, he's really nice, and like, kind of like a big brother kind of vibe, which was really nice. So I don't have a lot of friends, you know, he's nice to talk to. But no, then a few weeks ago, I did that little weekly vlog where you guys saw a lot of my life at university, so if you want to watch it. But yeah, that's the week when my English professor is talking to me. Like, I was, like I said, waiting in the English building, drawing, and he comes up to me and he's like, oh, you're drawing. And then after class is when he was like, I hope that's when, yeah. And then it was on Tuesday, that class, he asked me if I was okay, you know, after the whole sexual assault thing. He's like, yeah, like, we talked about that. Like, I know it's probably private, but, like, are you doing okay? And I'm like, yeah. And I told him about my friend, and that's when he said that if I want to feel good about how the class is going, I'll get you. Like, so sweet. Oh, yeah, and with the whole assault thing, they said we had options, and she was going to do whatever I wanted, so she could just talk to him. We could make him take a class on respect. We could get a restraining order. We could go to the police, but in the end, it's really bad, but I've decided not to do anything for now. I know I should report it. I know I should have him in jail, but I'm just scared of him, and I don't want to make anything worse than it is. I told his friend, who I thought was my friend too, but he's been giving me, like, dirty looks lately, so I don't know. But as for the friend or guy that actually did it, he's definitely backed off for the last 2 months. Like, he hasn't been following me or hiding in bushes, and he hasn't been texting me once. Like, once in a while I'll see him around, he's like, hi, as if nothing ever happened, but, like, he hasn't been bothering me too much, so I think for now we're just not going to do anything, and then, like, see what happens. If he does anything else, absolutely, but for now we're just kind of letting it go. I know that's bad, but I'm just too scared. I don't want to make anything worse, so yeah, that's why. I'm stupid, but just because you don't report something doesn't mean it hasn't happened. And you know, we reported it to the center, so they're aware, but yeah, no further action for now. But yeah, during that week I vlogged, interesting things happened, funny lectures, especially in English and psych kind of too. What else? Oh, we did that, like, make your own lip balm thing. We did painting, like, just fun things like that. It was good. And then I had that breakdown, as you guys saw. Bought lemonade. My bracelet broke in class. I fixed it, by the way, if anyone cares. But yeah, that week, I can't really recall much because it's all pretty much recorded. But I started taking more, like, walks and breaks to kind of clear my head, and it helps. So I've been kind of doing that more lately, just taking breaks, walking, and trying to put things together, also while trying to hide from him to the best of my abilities. But yeah, eventually we get to the final week, and it's just our final week of classes. Although our final astronomy class was on the 1st, not the 3rd. He canceled class that day. I don't know why. So our final class was on the 1st, and yeah, I was like, I'm kind of glad that this is over with. And then I took the final test, got a 50. I submitted the project, don't know what I got, but even if I did good, I don't think it's gonna fix all the other bad grades I got. So yeah, that's the class I'm most glad to be done with. Like, I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. I was terrible, and I just, it's not his fault, but I just didn't have a great time. He was entertaining, but as for the content, no. And then on Tuesday, we had our final in-class psychology, and then we had an awesome English class as normal, and that's the day when he was like, thank you very much for your beautiful note. And then after class, I kind of recorded a bit of it. Sometimes I record conversations just for memories, so he's like, yeah, give me a warm feeling, thank you, just, oh, I love him. And then on Wednesday, I had nothing to do because my class was canceled. That was the day Spotify Wrapped came out, and I was all happy. And, like, as for my friend, and, like, the funny thing is, although it's not really funny, I cry about everything, but when people die, I just don't. It's like my tears are gone, and that's the only time I should be crying. But, like, I don't cry. Like, I'm devastated, but for some reason, I don't physically cry. So, like, as devastated as I've been and upset, I haven't cried over my friend. Until this random Wednesday, when I was listening to a song that reminded me of him, and I just started crying. I don't know why. Like, I loved him so much, and this song reminded me of him, and I was like, okay, now it's time to cry. It's been over a month, but now you cry about it. So yeah, I cried like an idiot, and ruined my makeup, so I had to refix it, and I was like, I don't have anywhere to go today, but I just need to take a walk after that, clear my head. But yeah, that was the day of the Christmas social that night, and I wasn't very social. But yeah, I, like, decorated the tree, sat around, then went to the dining hall, got dinner. went to bed. It was crazy. And then the next day was our final day of classes. We had our online psychology class, which was basically test review, and I didn't really listen. I rewatched it after, but I didn't really listen at the time. I was working on the card for the English teacher. So I gave it to him, hugged. It was nice. We did a quiz that day, which had me anxious, but like I said, I got an A. And he's telling me, and I'm like telling him after like I hugged him and stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna try not to screw up the exam. And he's like, oh, the exam will be fine. Just do what you normally do. Like, it's been good so far. And then he starts talking about, like, you know, there are some people I haven't seen in weeks that missed this, like missed Fahrenheit, the book, who don't have the essay question for the exam. But yeah, we just talked for a bit, and yeah, that was it. The last day of classes, last day of English. Now, that night, I actually got stuck there an extra day. I didn't go home until Friday, but I'm like, it's okay, because, you know, I basically don't have to go back for, like, a week and a half until a few days before my final exam. So that night, they were having, like, a final semester party in the bar, and I tried to go, but they wouldn't let me in because I didn't have a second piece of ID. I didn't need that to go to the Halloween party in the same place, but this time they were like, sorry, we can't let you in. So that was embarrassing. And I was like, great, nothing to do. So yeah, so then I just wasted time in my room, like, ugh. But a few hours before that, I was actually walking around downstairs. Basically this little hallway downstairs that connects you to the other residence buildings from the inside. And I finally figured out how to get to all my old classes from the inside after they were over. Yeah, there was a way to get on the inside. Sometimes a bit longer, but like people do it so you're not like out in the cold in the winter, although I'll probably never always go on the inside unless it's easy. But I'm walking downstairs, like this hallway, it has like the child care center downstairs, and then it has like the hallway to connect to the other two residence buildings. And I'm walking, and this little girl, I think her name was Sophie, yeah, this little toddler, she was so cute. Like, I'm walking in the hallway and she's walking too with her mother, and like she comes up to me and she just would not leave me. It was so cute. She's just talking to me, smiling at me. Oh, she couldn't really talk, but she was like, hat, and pointing to her hat and smiling, saying hi, and like her mother was just laughing. It was the sweetest thing. I love kids. Don't want to have any of my own, asexual, but you know, if I could adopt or, you know, maybe work with kids, if I can get a psychology job or something similar if I drop out. But yeah, this kid, she was so sweet, and her mother, this kid would not leave me, and her mother's like, wow, she loves giving you extra special attention. And then she looks at my bracelets and she's like, you know, maybe it's your bracelets that she likes. They're very pretty. But yeah, eventually she picked her up and got her to walk away, but it was so sweet. It's like, wow, I can't interact with anyone my own age, but that professor and the kids and old people, like my teachers, love me, so there was something. So the next day on Friday, I get ready and I sit downstairs for hours, starving, but I was like, I forgot it usually takes a while to get picked up. But anyway, one thing I will say about university is the community is different. It's not like in high school where everyone's your age. Like, no, like, some classes have like full 40-year-old adults in there because, you know, university's for everyone. But even on the campus, like, you get so many different people. You get little children from like the child care center, old people walking their dogs. Like, it's such a strange but lovely community. And sometimes there'll be a whole ass middle school class of 14-year-old girls. And like, I don't know, I think they like to come on like their breaks from school or whatever. Like, they'll be at the Tim Hortons, like buying stuff, or they'll be in the little, sometimes I study in like the student building. That's where I was that Friday when I was waiting to be picked up. And, like, these middle school kids were there like running around, and like there's like a place in there where you buy food, so they were buying food and they were there for like an hour or so. Like, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, I was like, wow, these girls, a little hyper. And then last week I was home doing a lot of studying, or trying to, and working on stuff for psychology, like finishing my the discussion post and writing this paper, which genuinely is the worst thing I've ever written. It was so painful. We had to like summarize articles in APA format. I hate APA format. We'd use it sometimes in high school, but we would just put it in a thing and it would generate the citation. But no. Here, like, you had to put it in text. Ugh, it's disgusting. Like, here's the example paper. The citation after every sentence. I did not do it that much in my paper. I did not do it this frequently. This is kind of like a synthesis paper, so you need to cite everything if you're combining them. Mine didn't. But, like, could you honestly tell me, like, you could tell me what this paper is about and you wouldn't get distracted by all the citations? Because I couldn't. So yeah, I think I got like an 8.5 or 8, I don't know. I didn't check. I think I just saw the number grade. Don't want to check the comment. I literally wrote him a comment that's like, I'm so sorry, this is the worst thing I've ever written. Like, I don't even know if he's gonna forgive me. But, you know, if it's true I got like an 8.5 or 8, I'm happy with that out of 10. Like, whew. Then I did the final psychology test. And I was studying, and I saw this ad on Instagram Reels for this app. It's like Gizmo AI, where you upload pictures of your notes and they generate quizzes and you take them. And I ended up doing it for hours, and it was actually kind of fun and helpful. So I'm thinking for next semester, I'm definitely going to try and do that. I used it for my psychology notes, and then I later did it for some of the English notes. I uploaded like a whole thing of the entire play of Doll's House, and it gave me quizzes on it, and it was really fun, and I did pretty good. And since that was what most of the final exam was on, I know I did good with that. Yeah, that app, I see a lot of apps are scams, especially when they're advertised on TikTok or Instagram, so I was like, oh, this is probably some stupid thing we have to pay for to get any use out of it, but it's actually helpful. Hopefully I can kind of use it to help my studying next semester. But yeah, I went back last Sunday, and then the exam was Tuesday at night. It was like 6 to 9, which, late. Although I finished at like 8:20. But yeah, he told us, like, there are exams that go later than that. Like, I can't even imagine. But anyway, during those few days, I did a lot of reading, a lot of studying, like rereading over the books and stuff, and taking online quizzes, just trying to do it. And the exam actually wasn't bad at all. And, you know, he talked to me after, like I said, it was sweet, hug. Like, I'm gonna miss him so much. Maybe one day I could have him again, but I don't know. But yeah, English, in short, is the only really good thing I've had in this mess of a university experience so far. And then after it was over, I went upstairs, packed, and like got my room set for the break, because I got an email saying that they're gonna be doing room checks over the break. So that's not great. We haven't had any yet, but they're gonna do it and like make sure we like closed up everything properly, close the windows, although I don't know if I did it right, because I'm always cold, so I'm like, maybe there is a window open, I don't know. You know, turn off the lights, although they have to turn on the lights to check everything, so that's stupid. Like, just check, make sure everything's okay, and you know, hopefully they don't judge my stuffed animals and LPS and other embarrassing stuff I have in there. At least it's clean. That's one thing I can say. And my roommate later told me, like, she didn't know about this email. I guess she didn't get it. Again, not everyone gets all the emails. It's weird. But she told me, like, often once a semester, they have, like, full room checks where they come in, they check everything, open the fridge, look in the cupboards. So, like, I'm worried. And she's like, they haven't done it this semester, though. So I don't know if they're going to do it next semester, but I'm scared. They're going to find all my embarrassing stuff. I think the only thing I shouldn't have is the taped photos, but I'm not taping them to the wall of the Nursery Nurse characters. I tape them on the pin board, so maybe that's okay, but I don't know. I'll definitely try and hide those or whatever. They're going to judge me. They're going to be like, why do you have this? What's wrong with you? Maybe it's probably not that deep, but, you know, it's still kind of worrying. She's saying she has to hide, like, her extension cords. Yeah, because a few months ago they sent an email and they're like, hey, so extension cords are not out anymore. Like, oh, okay. So yeah, she's like, I'm gonna hide them in the cupboard. Like, yeah, yesterday I just, like, woke up, got ready, showered early. On days when I leave on Fridays, I get up so early so I can head out and wait outside for hours and do nothing, so I'm stupid. Like, whenever I take a shower in the early morning, like 4 or 5 a.m., it's always quite cold for a while before it heats up. So that's on me, but yeah. So yeah, I like swept the floors a bit, and like I asked her, like, is there anything you want me to do? And she's like, no, everything looks pretty clean. I just need to clean up some of my mess. I guess she's staying there over the break. But yeah, we talked for a bit. She gave me that present. I gave her the card. It was very, very sweet. We texted quite a bit. Like, yeah, we're friends. Even though we don't hang out outside of the room, we are friends. And then while I was like checking under things, I checked under the heater and I found this little stress ball of the earth. I don't know how I've never noticed that before, but it's mine now, I guess. I don't know how I never noticed that under the heater in my room, but yeah, guess it's mine now, so I put it with my other fidgets. So, free stress ball, that's something's free at this school. But yeah, after a while, around like 1 something, my dad came to pick me up and took me home, and now I am finally on break. So, yeah, in short, university has been a mess, and I haven't been having a great time, apart from English. Things have sucked, but again, it hasn't been a fair representation, so that's why I'm going to do the rest of the year and see what happens. Yeah, January semester runs from the beginning of January to the beginning of April, so we'll see how I feel. I hope things get better. Most people have amazing university experience, and I'm jealous of all these people who have friends and love and go to parties, and I just feel like I can't do anything right. And it sucks. And that's why I'm like, I don't want to be here for years. So again, I'm going to stick it out for the rest of the year and then decide like what I want to do. Do I want to go back? Do I want to find something else to do? Like it'll be complicated, but I got to figure it out or I'll never have a good life. And yeah, it's been hard. My voice is like gone. I've been talking for hours, and this is definitely going to have to be in multiple parts, and nobody's going to watch this whole thing. But yeah, now it's late and like my parents are in bed, so I'm like trying to whisper. It's after midnight now. But yeah, things have sucked, and I hate it. I hate everything that's happened, and I just want things to get better, and I'm hoping they do. Oh yeah, another thing I didn't mention. In my weekly vlog, as you saw, I think it was on the Tuesday, I got an email saying my psychology class, the intro to psychology that I wanted to take the first time, was being canceled. So I had to either choose a different time or do it online. But then it was like the last day of classes, I get an email saying, hey, so never mind that, we're bringing that course back, so if you want to take it, you can. Oh, thank you so much for giving me permission. So I know I'm taking that next semester, the intro to psych, so hopefully it's not too hard. And then I'm gonna try taking this anthropology Taylor Swift class. I know that sounds crazy, but it does exist, and I really just want to see what it's like. Although it's rated a level 2 course, so it might be kind of hard, but I just want to see what it's like, because, you know, I love Taylor Swift so much, so I really do want to take that course, and I heard the professor's really good, so I'm just gonna give it a try and see what happens, and if I need to drop it, I will. But yeah, so there's that. You know, maybe I'll find fellow Taylor Swift fans to be friends. That would be fun. And then I have no idea what my other class is gonna be, so I should probably figure that out. I would like it to be another English class with that guy, but it seems there aren't any options for that. So I guess I gotta try and find something else, and hopefully it'll be okay. I don't know if I'm ready for a whole new schedule, all new courses. I wish I could drop out now, really, but I'm gonna give it to the end of the year. But I just want to embrace the break while I can, and then go back next semester, and hopefully things will be better. No more stalking, no more assault, no more being lonely. I don't know what to expect, but hopefully things will be good. The welcome week, maybe I'll find better friends in my new classes. I don't know. I just hope it gets better, because I want it to get better. I want to have a good life. I want to have a good year at university, even if it's only 1 year. I want to do better, and it sucked so far with everything that's happened. It's made me feel insane. It makes me hate it there. I get triggered just being there, the memories, but I'm gonna give it another chance, and if I give up after that, I feel like it's more fair than dropping out now. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make things better. I might try and register for the Fred Smithers Center. It's known as, like, they help students with disabilities and stuff. But, like, we tried to register, and the form's like, what's your problem? Like, where do I start? There's so many problems. And also, a lot of things that I thought I had records of being diagnosed with when I was younger apparently no longer exist. So I don't know what I would do. But to be fair, they gave me the best room just from me and my mother saying what I had and saying, trust me, bro. So, you know, maybe I could figure something out. I want to do better. I can't fail. Failing the easiest class. Like, I can't believe I'm basically failing. Or, like, I got such a terrible grade in what's supposed to be the easiest class. Astronomy. Okay, again, we don't have our final grades yet, but based on my 3 test grades, I know it's not good. But yeah, everything about my university experience hasn't gone well, and it's been a mess. But I want things to get better, and I'm gonna try next semester my very, very best to make things better. It might not work, but I'm gonna try. So, yeah, that's basically everything. But if any of you have watched all this, thank you. And I just want to thank you all in general for being here for me. I honestly wouldn't have gotten through the last few months without your support. Like, you really mean everything to me. Just your support, your encouragement, your compliments, it really means everything to me. And I'm going to do my best to do university and videos and be happy and make things work, because you guys believe in me, you guys are so kind to me, and you guys really keep me sane. You're like my English professor. But yeah, you guys really mean everything to me, and I'm gonna work on videos and get things done and try and have a good Christmas and New Year's, and our 11-year anniversary is soon for this channel, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm just gonna do my best and know that even if I don't make it, I at least tried, and I think that's the best thing one can do. So yeah, that has been my first semester at university, and what a mess it's been, but also what an experience. It's mostly lows, but there have been a few highs. So yeah, even if it's mostly terrible, the good things haven't gone completely unnoticed. So English is definitely the best thing, and a few other positives, even though most of it is trash. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment if you can, and we'll see you later. Bye.